But at 1 minute to midnight, as far as intel goes, we're at a really good place right now. Now, I wanted to do a fairly short call tonight because I know people are kind of wanting to celebrate New Year's Eve and maybe watch Rockin' New Year's Eve or some other show and watch the ball drop and all that good stuff. Well, that's cool too. But at 1 minute to midnight Eastern time tonight, 1 minute before midnight, NISARA and JARA kick into being. They actually activate and start 1 minute before midnight tonight, so that the entire new year starts off in NISARA and JARA. That means what we've heard is we should have, I'm going to say should, we are supposed to have an announcement globally on New Year's Day tomorrow about NISARA and JARA. Don't know who's going to make it. Don't know when it's going to be. Just keep your eyes open, and if it happens and you catch it, great. That's cool. That's big. NISARA includes, our new currency, which is also part of JARA, all new worldwide currencies that are asset-backed, which all of them are supposed to be by now. Have an asset-backed currency, backing it by gold, silver, precious metals, in the case of Zimbabwe, by precious gems and diamonds and stuff found in the ground. Could be backed by oil and natural gas, intellectual property, all kinds of these assets, most of which are commodities, will back our currency. We have a lot of gold backing our currency, but we have other assets that are also in the mix to back our currency. Now, we're looking to have a brand new USTN, a United States Treasury note, no longer Federal Reserve notes, and we're going to have those coming out fairly soon. We're supposed to have NISARA and JARA revealed to us in the first 10 days of January. Well, tomorrow's the 1st. I don't know if they'll mention anything specific or whether we'll get an emergency broadcast system, an EBS announcement tomorrow. It would seem that we would, and it would seem that it would be a global announcement, since this is a worldwide new activation called JARA, Global Economic Strategic and Recovery Act. NISARA, National Economic Strategic and Recovery Act. That's us. That's the U.S. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that and see how that all comes together. But guess what's included in NISARA for us here in the States? Restitution and reconciliation allowance. We used to say reclamation allowance. I think the term they prefer is reconciliation allowance. Restitution and reconciliation allowance. That is happening. We're also going to get an increase in Social Security for those that are on Social Security. And it'll be a significant increase, not a cost of living allowance, not 5% or 3% or whatever it's going to be. It's going to be substantial. It'll be a really big amount. And so that's going to be happening. And of course, R&R is going to be big. And I'll just review quickly R&R. If you're 60 and older, you get it as a lump sum payment to you. And if you're receiving Social Security now, you have an account that's tied into that, so you can get it direct deposited every month. Usually the first, the second, third, or fourth Wednesday of the month. Some people get it earlier than the Wednesday of the month. They get it on the Saturday preceding. The other thing is, the people that are youngest, and I'm going to say this starts at age 30 to 45. That's when it starts, 30 years old to 45. In that 15-year age group, those people will receive their R&R paid to them monthly over 3 years. So 12 times 3 is 36 payments that will come to you monthly in some form or fashion of a bank account. Now let's go to the next group. The next group is 45 to 60. That's group 2. Group 2 will receive their R&R over 2 years. So 12 times 2 is 24. That's 24 monthly payments of your total R&R divided by 24, and that's what you'll get if you're 45 to 60 in that group. And then, of course, like I said, anything 60 and older receives it as a lump sum payment, not from a Social Security, but in a similar way that you receive your Social Security as a direct deposit, lump sum. One payment, lump sum, that's it. So that's really going to be interesting. Now, for those of us who are in the currency, especially those that are in the Zim, it's going to be nice. It's not going to make or break us, but it's going to be nice to have it. All right, now, let's go into just a couple of things about the Redemption Center. When we get notified, and I haven't even talked about that yet, have I? We are supposed to be notified tomorrow, 1st of January, in our emails and set our appointments either tomorrow or Thursday, which is the 2nd of January. Now, the reason I don't know it is because it was brought to us in the context that the email should tell us when we are to call to set our appointment. When, day and time. They may stagger us slightly so that everybody doesn't call in immediately. It should be in the email as to when to call. So pay attention to that. And that way you can call and set your appointment. And the thinking is, at least this is true as of yesterday and today, that we would receive that email, call and set our appointment, and start exchanges on Thursday, January 2nd. So we could get notified tomorrow. It's possible we could also get notified on Thursday and set our appointment. And I'm going to say it right now, even though we expect to receive that and go in for our appointments and do our exchanges, it's quite conceivable that we will have a true celebration call on Thursday night. That's Thursday, January 2nd. I think we would probably like to do one. So just a heads up. Try to give you guys a heads up so you can plan if you want to do that and be part of it. All right, so we know the redemption centers. We know that the staff, the leadership and the staff of the redemption centers are going in Thursday at 9 a.m. on the 2nd to be ready for us at 9:30 at their desks. So that shows us it's a fairly early morning start for what we're expecting. And then we'll go right through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll go right on through and get pretty far into the month of January. I don't know if it'll go through the 14th, 15th, 19th, 20th. We don't know. But it'll go as long as it needs to be, as long as there are appointments for the demographics for that area. There are only two things that you're going to do when you call initially the 800 number. You could get an AI voice, you could get a human being, or you could get both. But when you call in, you give them your name and your zip code that you want to, where you live or where you work or where you know you're going to be for an exchange. They'll find you the closest redemption center to that zip code and direct you to a live person, hopefully, if not an AI voice that will handle the rest of your call. And so that would be good. We're going to set up, you want to get the directions on where it is, a good address so you can plug it into your GPS or whatever. You know, you want to know exactly where it is. You want to have a set time. Appointments are supposed to be scheduled 40 minutes apart. 40 minutes. So you don't want to take more than 30 or 40 minutes to do your whole appointment. And that's a lot to get done in that period of time. If you have bonds, sheet bonds, or a box or two of sheet bonds, let them know that so that they can make the allotted extra time you would need to go through and verify and hypothecate those bonds. Okay? But just be aware of that. All right, let's see. What else can we talk about regarding, okay, step one, when you go in and you're welcomed into the Redemption Center, is when you sit down, you'll be introduced to a few people and you'll pony up your ID, photo ID, driver's license, passport, student ID, government ID, whatever you've got. Pony that up so they can see that, and then they'll know, yes, this is who you are. We know of you, we don't know of you, whatever. And they'll be able to get started. But at that time, you'll sign a non-disclosure agreement so that anything that you witness there stays private. How long will the NDA last? It could last 30 days, it could last 6 months. They're going to depend on how you comport yourself, how you speak, and how you handle yourself, and just how sharp you seem to be from their perspective. Okay, so that'll be an interesting thing for all of us to know whether we're going to get the lowest NDA period of 30 days or whether we could go as high as 6 months. All right? Now, that's what I wanted to tell you about the Redemption Center experience that we haven't really talked about before. Let me think if there's anything else regarding the Redemption Center. I think I went through it in pretty good detail last Thursday. So if you haven't heard that call, pick it up before this recording is over and sent up to be picked up by the replay number or a replay link. Okay, so really, that's what that is. Now, Sue, is there anything else that we talked about, if you're still listening, anything else that we talked about earlier that needs to be spoken and covered tonight? You maybe stepped off a little bit. Okay. That's fine. What's really important is that you go in, you've got everything that you need. Take a couple of blue writing pens, blue ink writing pens. That way you've got an authentic personal signature on documents that you can tell what the originals are because it's blue ink, not black ink. And when you copy it with a photocopier, it looks the same as the original. This way you've got your original document signatures and dates in blue ink. So take a couple of blue Bic pens or other writing pens that you like that you can take in with you. Some redemption centers are sharp enough where they have those, but I'm not sure that that's going to be the case everywhere. So you might want to bring your own pens just so that you can keep your authentic authorized signature apart from any copies that would be made. Let's see what else. When it comes to the med bed, Sue, was there anything else? We had a couple of things you and I talked about med beds. There was something else that I just covered, the idea of the blue pens. I talked about NDA. Yeah, I talked about that. Was there anything else?
You can thank Judy right now.
Oh, I know Judy's listening, and I knew they'd talk to you. Yeah, thank you, Judy. Okay, thank you. Was there anything, Sue? Otherwise, I'm going to finish up my intel.
No, that's it.
I don't think so. I think we got it. Okay, Sue, thanks for coming back on. I'm going to finish the intel and pray us out. Okay, so when you go in and you set your appointment for the med bed, when you go in, you know you can refer up to 6 people that need to get into the med bed. They've got dire needs, health-wise, whatever. You know that there's a problem, maybe a missing limb, maybe this and that. Who knows what it is? Could be anything. And you can recommend up to 6 people that you'd like to see go into the med bed. And hopefully you've told them about it. You have told them about it. They know it exists. And when you give them the person's name and their phone number, they can call them and say, okay, yes, so-and-so referred you to us to contact you about setting up a med bed appointment for you. So that's something you need to be aware of. That's how they're going to introduce the med beds. It's going to be by referral, personal referral, and eventually the word will get out, and eventually the public will find out about it, the public at large. But right now, who are the people they're most interested in? Zim holders, people with projects, people that have dire health needs. Why Zim? Because Zim is obviously going to create a lot of wealth. They want you to be living long enough, if you have projects that'll go 100, 200, or 300 years, to be around to see those projects through to fruition. So that's what they're going to be able to do by putting you in the med bed. The other thing is this. The med bed that we're talking about is a holographic med bed. This is one where you lay down on it. It's not a regeneration tank that you're standing vertically in, like the secret space programs use. This is one where you lay down, something like an X-ray bed, okay, but it has a polycarbonate top that you can actually see and monitor what's happening in and to your body while it's happening. Now, they're going to give you something to make you very calm and not fall asleep, but just make you relax so that you're not moving and squirming around in the med bed. When you look at the polycarbonate top, you'll see it's a projection, if you will, of what's happening and what's going to be going on in your body. Okay? So it takes about 3 minutes for the med bed to scan your DNA completely. It'll also take about 3 minutes to scan everything that might need help in your body. Oh, I see you've got this problem and that problem. It might be something that you're not even aware of that they find. Maybe you have a heart blockage in a major artery and you didn't even know it. You know, that's what the med bed would see, all of that. And so you can be able to monitor and watch changes that are occurring in your body, to your body. You know, the med bed can see down to the cellular level. It'll see cancer if you've got cancer. It'll see it and eliminate it. It's gone. And it's not going to take 30, 40 minutes max to get everything done. It really won't take very long. Even creating brand new limbs. Let's say you lost a leg below the knee. It will recreate that limb and that foot to match your other one, if you have another one. And it can do it fairly quickly. Now, to do a complete limb like that, it might take a little over 30 minutes. It might take 40, 50 minutes total. But you'll come out of there, age regress, if you want. They're not going to put anything on you you don't want. This is part of your interview period. You let them know in that 15-minute period before you go into the med bed what it is you'd like to see changed. This can be health problems, traumatic injuries, could be anything that needs to be fixed, if you will, repaired in your body. And it could be other things that you want to add that are mental capabilities. I don't know if it can erase specific memories, but I know it can enhance your memory. And I just think it can do quite a bit. The question was always, don't ask what the med bed can do, ask what it cannot do. And nobody's come up with anything that it cannot do. So get your list made out, typed up, printed out before you go to your med bed appointment with everything that you want done. Okay? And just have that ready to go so that when you give them that list, they type it all in, they bring it in, or you tell them what it is and explain it to them and they type it in, they put it all in there. All of that data goes into the med bed so that they can fix you and recreate you. Now, age regression can take you back. If you're under 80, it can take you back to the age of 28. 28 seems to be where they want to take us back to. I'm going to 28. I know when I was 28, I was crushing the ball on the tennis court. I peaked at age 40 on the tennis court. And I can't wait to get back out and play again. I'm going to go for 2015 vision. Say, wait a minute. I thought 2020 was perfect vision. 2020 is very good vision. 2015 means you can see letters that are smaller than 2020. 2015, you can see, remember in the old days, maybe you could see really fine print on a newspaper without stretching your arms way out. You know, that's what I'm talking about. I had 2015 vision in my left eye at one point. And so I want to get back to that in both eyes. Any of the changes that you want to make to your physical body, you can do. You can grow up to 5 inches in height. You can add muscle weight. You can take off weight that is not muscle. You can alter whatever features you need to alter. You can do that. It's going to be an amazing thing. And I just wanted everybody to be aware of that. And the idea of recommending up to 6 different people that you know that you're referring to go into the med beds. Now, I think it's extremely cool technology, and I'm looking forward to getting in fairly soon after the exchange. The exchanges are going to trigger everything else that follows. And I'm excited about everything that is in NISARA for us, JARA for the rest of the globe, and everything that we found out about it. So don't be faked out if you read something or you hear a video or see a video on something and it's different. I'm telling you, we are talking to the person that is in the military that is over the placement and hiring of all medbed personnel and locations throughout the United States and some other countries as well. And we're fortunate enough to be able to talk to him and ask him certain questions. So it's all good, and I'm excited about it. Now, I told you that it's quite possible we will have our notifications tomorrow, New Year's Day, and be able to set appointments for Thursday, 2nd of January. Whether we can't set them until January 2nd, I don't know. I'm thinking that's going to be the case, but we'll find that out when we get the emails. The instructions should be in the email as to what we can say. Now, we're not going to be able to discuss where we went for the med beds, where the med bed centers are, who is it that helped us. Nothing about that to be talked about. People will see you, see differences in you, see changes, see the fact that you're going to look a lot younger. If you're in my age group, you're going to look a lot younger, but you're not to discuss the particulars of that any more than you're going to talk about the particulars of your currency exchanges when you come out of the redemption center. That NDA will keep you from talking about anything like that. You know, it's something we're going to have to keep on the down low. We keep it quiet, and there's no reason we have to discuss anything like that with anybody else. Just keep it private, keep it to yourself. Keep it simple, sweetheart. All right? Now, I want to thank Sue for doing a wonderful job for the big call. I think it sounds like we might have one more call Thursday, which would be a celebration call if the information we're getting is coming through for us. I have every reason to believe we are going to get this in the next 2 days, by Thursday, and exchange is starting Thursday. Now, we'll stay on top of it. We'll be finding out what it is. You guys enjoy your New Year's Rockin' Eve or whatever you're watching tonight. Enjoy it. Enjoy the Rose Bowl Parade. That's what I'm going to be watching in the morning in Pasadena, California. That's always fun. I always love that. And, we're going to have a great celebration. And we'll have a celebration call with Bob on Thursday night. This is our pre-celebration call. I just had so much intel to give you guys. Let me think if there's anything else. I can tell you, there is one more thing. This is very important. Remember we talked about a contract rate for the dinar at the redemption center. Well, I just found out last night that we have to ask for the contract rate at the redemption center. They have a very good rate, but it's about a third of what it would be at the contract rate. They have a very good rate on dinar, and if you don't ask for the contract rate, you'll get that other front screen rate at the redemption center. It's going to blow away the rate at the bank. Don't even go to the bank. Forget it. You're going to the redemption centers because President Trump wants us to get the highest rates possible. But they want people that have projects to get the highest dinar rate, which is the contract rate. Doesn't mean you have to sign a contract or anything for it. It just means that it's a special rate that's being given to people with projects that want to do things to benefit humanity. So I'm going to ask we're all going to ask for, may I please have the contract rate on my dinar? Period. Question mark. That's it. And they'll be more than obliged to extend that to you. That was one thing that was different. We didn't say it that way before. We said they would offer it. Well, they'll offer it after you ask for it. You must ask for the contract rate on dinar. And it's 3 times or more higher than the rate that would be on the normal front screen at the redemption center. And dong is moving up in value, and it will also increase a little bit more. It's in a really good range, and you should all be very thrilled with what that redemption center rate is on the dong.